If you drink green juices, green smoothies, or supplement with greens powders, you may want to keep watching because there's pretty good evidence to suggest that these oxalate-rich greens are problematic for your kidney health and possibly joint health and beyond. There's one paper here that was published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases titled Green Smoothie Cleanse Causing Acute Oxalate Nephropathy, which is a chronic kidney disease. There was also another paper here that was titled From Smoothies to Dialysis, the Impact of Oxalate Nephropathy. And this is crazy, my friends. I want to tell you a little bit how I got into this. I know that folks like Sally Fallon and Bill Schindler have been talking a lot about oxalate toxicity. And I think mainstream people will think, you're crazy. Spinach is so healthy for you. Zucchini, Swiss chard, kale, just dump all that stuff in a smoothie and you will be the healthiest version you could possibly be. But it turns out that there's actually case reports in the medical literature of people having chronic kidney disease. And lo and behold, they are having all these green smoothies and green juices and all this stuff. And they sound benign. Like, people make the arguments like, oh, a plant-based diet is so healthy. These are alkaline-rich foods and they're from plants. They could never harm your body. And I'm not one of these people to say that plants are intentionally designed to kill you, but also we need to recognize that there's a lot of anti-nutrients in plants. And it turns out when you hyper-concentrate these anti-nutrients in some susceptible people, they can have health consequences as a result of that. So I'm not trying to scare you out of having greens ever again. It's just, hey, we might want to consider how often we're doing this and focus more on low oxalate foods, especially if you have joint pain, migraines, and you want to optimize the health of your kidneys. Again, there's multiple studies and case reports of people with end-stage kidney disease who have been eating a lot of these green smoothies and doing green kale smoothies. This was a 54-year-old male with type 2 diabetes. A further investigation into his dietary history revealed that the patient regularly consumed high oxalate foods, such as spinach and kale smoothies, under the impression they were beneficial for his diabetes. Despite the indication for hemodialysis, the patient did not recover his renal function and remains dialysis dependent. This is insane. Who would have ever thought that someone could give themselves chronic kidney disease from having kale and spinach smoothies? I mean, most people would think that that's the healthiest food you could possibly eat. I mean, it doesn't get much better than kale, right? But we know that these foods have goitrogens, they have anti-nutrients, they have oxalates. And so if you're going to have a lot of green leafy vegetables, and I would just say the sickest I've ever been, this is really embarrassing to admit. I got really into gardening when I moved into this house in 2015. We have over 400 square feet of raised garden beds, organic soil, composting, and all this. And I had to get a colonoscopy because I thought I had cancer. I was having Swiss chard all of the time, and all of my eggs, it was like Swiss chards with a little egg. I thought greens were the best thing for your microbiome. I wrote the book Belly Fat Effect. It was all about food diversity and biodiversity, and food diversity, will impact gut microbiome diversity and all this. And I always just had these like balls in my stomach, and I literally thought I had colon cancer, right? I get a colonoscopy and it's clean. I'm like, well, what is going on? And then I start to hear people talk about the carnivore diet. I thought, that's so stupid. I would never do that. You need all these greens. And then I try it, and like, lo and behold, all the gastrointestinal symptoms that I had are gone. Couldn't believe it, didn't want to believe it, to be fair, was heavily invested in my garden beds and organic gardening, but I'm like, look, there's got to be something to this. So now we grow a lot of fruit and some herbs and things like that, and potatoes and whatever that we ferment. I mean, I'm not saying that all vegetables and fruits are bad, but now learning more about oxalates and that there's ample evidence to suggest that these green leafy vegetables are really concentrated sources of oxalates that can be very toxic. And so, you can see from some of these images here, the oxalate crystals that are found in the kidneys and found in other parts of the body. This is not woo-woo science, my friends. It turns out that, and again, there's multiple studies finding that people have given themselves chronic kidney disease when they do a further dietary analysis. Oftentimes they're having green cleanses and smoothies and these things. So, I know that there are certain companies that advertise their green drinks and powders. I generally recommend avoiding a green drink, to be honest, for this reason, number one, but also they're concentrated in heavy metals, arsenic, cadmium, and lead, as is pea protein and rice protein and soy protein. So if you're going to do a supplement, I would say an organic grass-fed whey concentrate. That's it. but use that moderately, not every single day. And it turns out that blueberries do have oxalates as well. So that's not to say that you should always avoid blueberries, but I definitely wouldn't be putting handfuls of spinach and kale and, Swiss chard and zucchini in a smoothie. So that being said, I want to pause before we dive into this literature because it's pretty fascinating, and just say thank you for being here. Hopefully you're enjoying this video and this research. The research on oxalates is just incredibly fascinating. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at bondcharge.com. You hear me talk about this company a lot because they make amazing health tools. I like their infrared sauna blanket because it's really hot. It gets up to 170 degrees. It's one of the lowest EMF sauna blankets out there, but they now have a red light therapy blanket that I've been using, and that is phenomenal, my friends, because I don't know about you, but I've had a red light therapy device for a while. You kind of stand against the wall, you get bored listening to your audiobook, then you have to turn around. The new red light therapy blanket is amazing because you can just lay down and you get full body red light exposure along with near infrared that has been shown to help support mitochondrial health and cellular regeneration, possibly even increasing testosterone and recovery. It's good for your skin as well. So definitely check out the amazing tools and my new favorite, the red light therapy blanket, over at bondcharge.com/HIH. I'll put links in the description below. But getting back to these studies, this is just incredibly fascinating to me. We talked about the case study of the 54-year-old male who was type 2 diabetic that was having a lot of kale and spinach smoothies. That was published in the American Journal of Chronic Kidney Disease Research. There was another article that was published in the same journal. This was published in 2017. The title of this is Green Smoothie Cleanse Causing Acute Oxalate Nephropathy. Crazy. This is wild. So this was a 64-year-old woman. There was a temporal association with the consumption of oxalate-rich green smoothies, cleanses prepared by juicing oxalate-rich green leafy vegetables and fruits, predisposing factors, including a remote history of gastrointestinal bypass and a recent prolonged antibiotic therapy. So this patient, had some other issues, but a biopsy found there were a lot of calcium oxalate crystals in her kidneys, in the renal tubules of her kidneys. And this was basically a call to action for doctors because she had lab work finding normal kidney function before she started this intervention of these green smoothie cleanses, because she had labs, because she had some gastric bypass and so forth. And eventually it became end stage renal disease. She's I believe is on dialysis after having all these green juices. I mean, this is insane. And I'm not trying to trash. I know there's a lot of well-intended green smoothie bars and juice clinics and little shops, boutique shops that I've been to over the years. And I think they're great. They offer raw food desserts and some cool things, but this should be a novelty, not a daily thing. Your kidneys are really important, especially as you get older. Peter Attia has talked about this. If you don't have good kidney function, you can have high blood pressure. I mean, there's a lot of problems if you start to have, issues with your kidneys. So I would be mindful about having a lot of these green juices and green smoothies. I don't know that they're as healthy as people think they are. I don't know where we go from here, but I think that, either fasting or doing some yerba mate or whatever, but all of these smoothies and loading up greens, I'm really not a fan. And I don't know and it's not just from these limited case studies. There's multiple reports here, just finding that the oxalate levels in spinach and kale and Swiss chard are really off the charts. And, if you do that over the long period of time, you could develop these oxalate crystals in the tubules and nephrons of your kidney, and then your kidney function goes to crap. And you don't want to be on dialysis. I mean, that would be a really terrible way to live. So I think in conclusion, we really should question whether or not we should be eating this way. And I will tell you that there's a reason why there's this burgeoning community of a zero carb diet. And I know that's really unpopular among vegans and vegetarians because they, don't believe that the micronutrients found in red meat can be health promoting. But, we recently reviewed a study finding that creatine supplementation improves symptoms of depression. We know that you're not finding creatine, you're not finding carnitine, zinc, B12, iron, and all these things in the green leafy vegetables. In fact, these green leafy vegetables are binding those health promoting minerals and making them inaccessible, like the magnesium and so on. So I just think that we should be a little bit more cautious. It's not to say you can never have a green drink ever again, but if you want to optimize the health of your kidneys, I certainly wouldn't recommend doing this every day. I certainly wouldn't recommend putting a handful of spinach in your smoothie, or heaven forbid, your child's smoothie. Maybe focus on bananas, maybe a little sprouted nut butter, maybe some whole milk, some egg yolks, things like that have a lot better ratio of micronutrients and macronutrients compared to anti-nutrients. So I'm just blown away at this research. And how I came about this was a family member was hospitalized from a kidney stone. And this family member, really close to me, I was just curious, like, well, what could be causing like a kidney stone? Because they eat a really clean diet, a lot of vegetables and fruits and whole food and stuff, and meat as well. And I started to dive into this literature, and I'm like blown away at these case studies and reports, finding that people are having end-stage kidney disease after having a lot of green juices and smoothies. And I was like, holy crap, there's actually something to this. So I wanted to share this information with you, my friends. It's not alarmist. It's not to say you can never have spinach ever again, but it seems that particularly raw green leafy vegetables have the highest concentration of oxalate. So try to steam them, try to soak them, try to cook them in a way, and even fermented, foods. So maybe making your own kimchi. If you want to have spinach, you can throw some spinach in there and ferment it. That will dramatically reduce the levels of oxalates, and steaming and cooking does as well. So again, this isn't an anti-plant diet message. This is just to let you know that there is evidence to suggest that having a lot of raw green leafy vegetables may affect kidney function over the long haul. And so just be aware of that, my friends. So I would love to know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning all the way in. Appreciate your likes, your comments, your shares. We'll catch you on a future video down the road.